In this video, I'll show you how to use Garageband to create a digital story similar to the one you would create in Photostory 3 for Windows. Alright, I'm going to first of all apologize for any coughing fits that I have. I've got a bad cold right now, so if I do have to pause to cough at all, I apologize. I'm also going to assume that you've already downloaded or taken pictures and that you have them on a folder somewhere on your computer. I've got these 5 pictures of a teddy bear on my desktop. First thing I need to do is add them to iPhoto. So I'm going to make sure iPhoto is on my dock. I see it there. I'm going to grab the folder, drag it, and I'm going to drop it onto iPhoto on my dock. I want to make sure that iPhoto is actually highlighted there, and I see it is, so when I let go, it's going to import those pictures in. Now, I already have these pictures in here, but I'm going to import them again anyway, so that I have an event just of these pictures. Then I'm going to quit iPhoto, and I'm going to launch GarageBand. Now, depending on what you last had open in GarageBand, that's what will come up. So in my case, last thing I had open on GarageBand was this test file. You might have something else. You may also get a warning or a question asking you if you want to take a look at what's new in iLife 11. Just ignore that. Click File New. And if yours started out looking like this, that's because you've never opened GarageBand yet, so it started off with this welcome page. What we're going to click is Create New Podcast. And I'm going to call mine My Digital Story. You can call it whatever suits what you're working on. I click Create. And I get the podcast layout here, where we have a podcast track, a male voice track, a female voice track, and a jingles track. Now, it doesn't matter whether you put male voices in male voice, female voices in female voice. The sound won't change at all. So I'm just going to put everything into the male voice. If you're female, it doesn't matter which one you put it in. And if you have several students coming up to record their voice, you don't have to put the boys in the male voice and the girls in the female voice. They can all just go into the same track. All right, I'm going to scroll here. Well, first of all, make sure that Photos is selected in your media browser. And if media browser isn't showing up, I think there is a way to close it. No, perhaps not. So, yeah, it should be here anyway on the right hand side. I'm going to make sure I click on Photos, make sure I have iPhoto and Events selected. And I'm going to scroll to the bottom of my events, find my teddy bear pictures, my 5, and there they are. Alright, now I'm not going to put the pictures in yet. First I want to record the audio for the pictures. But I just want to see them here so I know which pictures I'm talking about. So I'm going to make sure my playhead is at the beginning. And I'm going to click on the track that I want to record into. And there's a little red dot, or a little dot here. It's gray right now. When I click on it, it turns red and enables the recording into it. I then see that I have green lines jumping up and down here as I talk. If you don't see those green lines, that means that your microphone is not set up properly. So there's 2 places you need to check that. First is under the Apple System Preferences, Sound, and make sure that Input is selected to whatever microphone you're using. If you're using a built-in microphone, that's fine. I'm using a Logitech headset right now. Whichever you use is up to you, as long as you have a microphone connected. Then I'm going to quit System Preferences, and under GarageBand Preferences, Audio MIDI, I want to make sure that my audio input again is set to headset or built-in microphone or whatever microphone you're using. I can close those then, and I should be set to record. Okay, so my first picture, teddy bear climbing rocks in the garden, so that's what I'm going to record. Click the record button here, sorry. I'll just restart that, delete it. You'll click the record button down here to start it and to stop it. So I'm going to start it. My teddy bear likes to climb rocks in the garden. I stopped it, and now I can see it's still playing, so I just hit the play button to stop it. I'm going to grab the playhead, drag it back to the end of that one, and I'm going to try the next one. My teddy bear likes to hang out with my cat Max. Stop it. Pull it back. My teddy bear... Excuse me. Good opportunity here. Excuse me. Good opportunity here to show you what happens if you do make a mistake and you want to try again. Just click it, make sure it's a darker purple. These ones are lighter purple because they're not selected. If I click away anywhere, then this one's not selected, it becomes a lighter purple. Click on it, it's darker purple, it's now selected. Hit my delete key, it goes away, and I can try that one again after I get a drink of water. That's better. Sorry about that. Alright, so let's try that again. My teddy bear likes to lay in the sun with his sunglasses on. Back it up again. Hit record. My teddy bear likes to play basketball in the kitchen. And one last picture. My teddy bear likes to play in the computer. Did you notice it's a Mac? Okay. Now that I've got all my audio selected, pardon me, I can start now dragging in my picture. So I'm going to just scroll back to the beginning here. I'm going to grab my first picture, drag it, and you see that gray line, that vertical line that's moving back and forth now? That's where the picture is going to start. Now I want it to start right at the very beginning, but I have to drop it so my mouse is on the podcast track at the top. So I move my mouse up there. The gray line disappears from all the other tracks, but it's still there in the podcast track. You can see it behind the picture a little bit. So I'm going to drag it all the way so that gray line is at the beginning of the sound, the beginning of the track, and let go. It's going to put that picture in for 30 seconds. Now I don't need to change that 30 seconds yet, because as I drop other pictures in, they'll cut that picture off. I'll show you here. Grab a picture of Max and the teddy bear, drag it, make sure my gray line now is in line with the split between the two narration recordings. Drop it, and there we go. So it cuts off the first one, and now this one goes up to the 30-second mark. I'm going to do that with the rest of my pictures now. Just drop them in here. There we go. And if I slide over now, I want to drag this. So if I go put my mouse at the very end, it turns into a square bracket with two arrows. I click and drag that then back to the end here so it lines up with the voice. And the other thing I have to move is this purple arrowhead here, up here. Grab it and drag it back so it lines up as well. And that will cut the podcast off at that point. Okay, so let's have a look here, a little preview of it. If I go down here to the eye here, I click on it. Now I'm in my podcast preview window. And I hit the play button. It should play it back for us. My teddy bear likes to climb rocks in the garden. My teddy bear likes to hang out with my cat Max. My teddy bear likes to lay in the sun with his sunglasses on. My teddy bear likes to play basketball in the kitchen. My teddy bear likes to play in the computer. Did you notice it's a Mac? And it stops. Alright, so now last thing I might want to add is some music. So to do that, I click on the eyeball over here, and I go into my jingles. Let's try maybe some orchestral, and let's try Alliance. If I click on it, it starts to play. Okay, click it again, it'll stop it. Okay, let's try maybe Flurry. Okay, let's say I like that one. I'm going to click and drag it. Oh, sorry. First I should scroll to the beginning. Then click and drag Flurry up into the jingles track, and at the very beginning, let go. And now when I take my playhead to the beginning and I hit play. My teddy bear likes to climb rocks in the garden. My teddy bear likes to hang out with my cat Max. My teddy bear likes to lay in the... And it plays along with it. Now, what I see here though is that it's not quite long enough. So what I can do is I can go to the end of it, click, and drag this little sort of circular arrow here. What that's going to do is that's going to restart the song. So you'll see here in a second what happens with that. Son with his sunglasses on. My teddy bear likes to play basketball in the kitchen. My teddy bear likes to play in the computer. Did you notice it's a Mac? So it just starts it over again. Now, make it a little longer so it lines up. Now, that's what you do if you have a jingle or a song that's too short for your podcast. Excuse me. If you have one that's too long, I'm just going to hit delete, get rid of that one. Like maybe this, which one? Dogma. Dogma is longer. Oops, sorry, scroll to the beginning. Drag it to the beginning. And I see now it's way too long. Way too long. So to cut it off, what I do is I take my playhead, drag it to the end of my song. Again, make sure that this is the one that's selected so it's a darker color, right? So there, it's darker color. And I go to Edit, Split. Then I click anywhere in this gray area here so nothing is selected. And then I click the second part, the part I don't want, make sure it's blue and selected. And hit my delete key on my keyboard, and it's gone. Now, the only other thing you may want to adjust is the volume. Right now, if I hit play, the music's a little too loud, I think. I want it a little quieter so I can hear my voice better. So I simply go over here, click on this little arrow, and it shows the track volume. I can then grab this blue dot here and do that. Grab the blue dot, drag it down. Oh, that didn't work so well. There we go. So that it's a little quieter. My teddy bear likes to hang out with my cat Max. Maybe a little too quiet. Turn it up a bit. My teddy bear likes to lay in the sun with his sunglasses on. My teddy bear likes to play basketball. That's a little better. Now at the very end, if I want it to fade the music out, I click where I want the fade out to start, and I get a blue dot. Then I click on the line at the end of the song, I get another blue dot. I take the end blue dot and I drag it down to 0 volume, and now you'll notice it fades out. My teddy bear likes to play in the computer. Did you notice it's a Mac? And the sound just fades right out. Okay, now when I added my jingle, it popped my purple line way down here to where the song was. So now I gotta grab this purple arrow thing and I need to drag it all the way back again to the end so that it cuts off the podcast when I save it at that point. Pardon me. Alright, so we want to preview it one last time. My teddy bear likes to climb You can watch it all the way through, make sure it's the way we want it. And when you're all done, of course, save it. And you should probably be doing this more often than I have here. Clicking File Save, just in case something goes wrong. But the last thing to do to make it into a movie file is to click Share and send podcast to disk. Sorry, export podcast to disk. Make sure you're compressing with the AAC encoder. Audio settings, musical is good, spoken is fine too, but musical is probably better. It'll give you a little higher quality sound. Make sure you turn this checkbox off. We want to leave the artwork or the pictures at a full resolution, not cut it off at 300 by 300. And then click Export. It'll ask you where you want to save it. I'm just going to save mine to my desktop so it's easy to find. And hit Save. It'll run through the mixdown, and once it's all done, then I can just shrink Garageband down here, find it on my desktop, and you'll notice you've got a little musical note thing here on the icon. That means it's going to open up in iTunes. I don't want it to open up in iTunes because it takes longer to set it up and play it, so I want it to open in QuickTime. So I'm just going to right click, go to Open With, QuickTime, and then I'm going to go to View and enter full screen, and it starts playing. My teddy bear likes to climb rocks in the garden. My teddy bear likes to hang out with my cat Max. My teddy bear likes to lay in the sun with his sunglasses on. My teddy bear likes to play basketball in the kitchen. My teddy bear likes to play in the computer. Did you notice it's a Mac? And the pictures don't always change in the right time. And that's why I don't really like the GarageBand method. We've tried this before, and sometimes, yeah, the pictures don't switch quite at the right time, even though you told it to do it. It's just the way the program is when you export it out as a movie file. It's one of the downsides of using QuickTime. I will show you another online one, though, if you are comfortable with putting the pictures online, of how to do it.